For decades, the Hollywood blockbuster followed a strict sequence. A studio would release a hit movie, a sequel, and a third, an isolated timeline. Today, that straight line fractures. Standalone trilogies have been replaced by sprawling ecosystems where dozens of properties intersect. Marvel acted as the primary architect for this shift, systematically dismantling the old linear model to build the framework for the modern mega-franchise. They maintain a persistent grip on global pop culture, operating across film, television, video games, and shelves of physical merchandise. The mechanics behind this dominance didn't originate in a Hollywood boardroom. They trace back to a publisher printing comic books in 1939. When Marvel began in 1939, they were a standard comic book publisher, competing for rack space in a crowded market. Their footprint expanded as creators began drawing characters that would eventually become some of the world's most recognizable intellectual properties. But the structural innovation was geographical. These characters didn't exist in separate voids. They occupied the exact same fictional New York City. Living there, they naturally crossed paths. A hero from one title would suddenly appear in another's, causing their independent plots to intersect. This framework is known as a shared universe. At the time, committing to this level of continuity across dozens of different series was a highly unconventional storytelling device. It operated as a brilliant economic engine. By scattering pieces of a larger plot across several different titles, the studio ensured readers had to purchase multiple comic series each month to get the complete story. By 2008, the Hollywood film industry was still operating on its traditional, rigid infrastructure, relying heavily on star power and standard sequels. Marvel took an enormous financial risk that year, borrowing heavily against their own characters to finance and launch an independent film studio. This strategy applied print mechanics to the screen, positioning the 2008 launch as the first node in a deliberate network. This became the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Successive films featured different leads, but all were engineered to collide in massive, centralized crossover events. The network effect compounded. Audiences quickly learned that skipping a standalone film meant missing critical context for the larger narrative. Marvel took the compounding continuity logic that sold comic books and used it to reshape the geometry of blockbuster filmmaking. The 2008 gamble worked, and the traditional self-contained trilogy model was instantly eclipsed. Competing studios immediately began rushing to build their own connected universes, turning the shared ecosystem into the industry's primary objective. Once a network structure is established, it scales across mediums easily. Characters and plots flow seamlessly into streaming series and video games, maintaining continuity the entire way. This level of sustained engagement generates a massive, highly dedicated global audience. This creates an economic flywheel. A consumer whose first interaction is a video game is naturally funneled toward the films, the television shows, and the physical merchandise, caught within an interlocking system. Because the web is so dense, the company is largely insulated. A single underperforming movie or an unpopular character doesn't break the structure. The surrounding notes support the weight. Marvel's model shifted the industry's ultimate asset from the individual icon to the self-sustaining ecosystem, where every property exists strictly to feed the whole.